Sagittarius, welcome to your summarized reading for 2020. It's an annual reading. For those of you who don't know, my layout here, the first half is the first half of 2020 from January through June. Second half is July through December. Okay, so let me say it's a very interesting spread because I see, well, number one, you've got a lot of second house activity going on with the astrology, which I talk more about on Vimeo in the in-depth for those of you who are interested. But basically what this means is a lot of energy going on having to do with money, resources, and it's all throughout this year. And so I think that there's going to be some lessons learned about managing resources and also taking your power back, stepping into your power, okay? So with hard work and learned lessons having to do with your own self-worth, value, your material items, your own power, okay? You're gonna get a payoff. Now I gotta tell you, the first half of this year, it looks a little rough. I'm just going to be honest with you, and I'm not trying to discourage you. I'm trying to forewarn you, so I forearm you, right? So that you don't get discouraged. You know that breakthrough is coming if you stay on task with the lessons at hand and you put in the hard work. I definitely see for many of you breakthrough coming the second half of this month. Like, okay, if you're wanting to make a move, if you want to move house or get a new job, I mean, I do see the first half of this year, that's kind of, going to be a difficult time for you to make that happen, and y'all might be frustrated by that. But I see by the second half of this year, you're in that new job. You have been promoted. You are in that new home. So just try to remain encouraged because you're going through a lot of lessons right now. I can see that at the foundation about give and take, equality, sharing, and being self-sufficient and independent. And look at the sun at the foundation just shining down on you, blessings. But the blessings are coming through truth and clarity and healing about your resources, your own power. And so getting into this year, I see that you come in with this Tower card in January, and yeah, that's not cool. Who wants that, right? It's like there's been a fallout. I think for the majority of you, though, and I'm picking up intuitively that there's not necessarily going to be a fallout. I feel that this Tower card is more about a knowing that something is not on solid ground. You probably already know what this is, and I do think it's money related. Or it might have to do with some plans that you have for this year that are not well supported, whether it's financially or emotionally, however you want to say it. If you're not already aware of this, you will be by January. You're going to get a realization that something is not on solid ground and you're wanting to build from it. So I see you taking a more practical approach with your finances, taking care, looking closer at your money management, how to use your resources wisely. Some of you are taking care of your body, your health care, but it might have to do with an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. For some of you, and a lot of back and forth, this has been a relationship where you've been going back and forth with this person. You might be examining and realizing this is not giving me the stability and the security that I need from which to build something sustainable over the long term. And it might be a key person or partnership or making a very key decision about looking at the hard work that's going to be required to really lay a solid foundation from which to build. Now, getting into February with the Two of Air, there's some kind of stalemate, and it might involve an Aries or getting a new beginning. If this is your love life, some of you, maybe you have a new relationship or you're putting a new relationship offer out there, but somebody's not satisfied because somebody's maybe being, frivolous or careless in their approach, and that's creating a stalemate. I mean, I see one person really lackadaisical about it, immature. The other person is just apathetic. And so with this Two of Air, there seems to be, even if there's a new love prospect on the table, it just doesn't seem to be going anywhere. There's a stalemate over what's being offered. And in March, with the Eight of Fire, finally you're getting some progress, and this is really lovely energy, which I show it shows up again, it reappears again in November. It's like there's some key decision that you're making during this time that is going to pay off for you later on in the year by November, okay? But it could be, you know, a month of a lot of quick, decisive action, all right? Having to do with breaking free of restrictions. It might have to do with a Taurus or a marriage or somebody who is just generally not being supportive towards you. It could be a legal issue or a karmic union that you have with this person. But I do see conversations occurring during this time where somebody's like, no, you got to put in if you want to get out of this, okay? Or you can't just come back in real quick and act like nothing happened. Somebody, it's almost like, needs to atone for their sins, or they need to pay restitution or something. There's got to be some kind of balance here. And if this person is not going to bring it because they're uncommitted to that, or they've just been a bad leader. I see a lot of poor leadership showing up. Be aware of that, somebody leading you astray. Well, could be a lot of communications where somebody's like breaking free of it, like, no, I'm not going along with that program. No, I'm not listening to that advice. You need to put in on this if you want to get something in return, is kind of an energy that I'm seeing with the communications in March. Now, in April, with the Patience card, which, you know, is typically in tarot the Temperance card, could be a Sagittarius, you, or a Cancer. I'm seeing someone trying to heal and balance things out and take a moderate approach again with the finances, but you know, and use your assets wisely, invest your time wisely, possibly having to do with a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. If this is about work, you know, some of you maybe work in industries having to do with things that sustain life, like real estate, the food industry, banking and finance, stuff like that. But I see somebody holding back and protecting themselves. Honestly, I think it's you. And I don't think that you're having a lack of money during this month. I think you're just being very prudent, and you're realizing that you have got to be disciplined in your use of resources if you want to get forward movement on whatever this was that you've been starting from the beginning of the year, realizing, okay, I'm going to have to take a more disciplined approach. There's got to be an exchange here in order to get balance and restoration. Now, in May, I see that there is a fire sign, possibly you, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Could be a romantic offer coming in for you during this month. But I see some restriction here. Somebody's holding themselves back. Maybe because somebody's too egotistical. There's ego at work. For others of you, I see another storyline here that you are wanting to move house, but you are feeling that you're restricted in your affairs because there's a lack of direction, or somebody has been very egotistical, something has gotten out of control, and I got some more advice on that. It seems to be a family matter. It might be a health matter for some of you, but for the majority of you, I think it's a family matter where something is not, it's kind of like this Tower card, something is not on solid ground. It's not really grounded where it can grow and flourish. And I'm almost sensing that it's a family dynamic where you're being restricted in your affairs because somebody is very egotistical, could be a Sagittarius or a Cancer, okay, or regardless of sign, somebody in the family is not bringing stability, and it's destabilizing everybody else. And now by June, very much on hold with the Hangman appearing twice. I mean, wow. And then it might involve a Leo for some of you, but I see somebody's avoiding something. They're avoiding making a sacrifice, and that's why things are on hold, or and then this is probably forcing somebody to get into a lot of introspective self-reflection, a lot of meditation about looking at another way, maybe feeling creatively blocked in some respect. But I feel like this does have to do with your public life. For some of you, if you're trying to move during this month or sign a contract, or start a new job, it's going to be delays and frustration. I'm sorry to say, June is not going to be the month for it. And you are not giving or getting some kind of commitment. Somebody's avoiding. They're in avoidance, okay? The good news is the very next month in July, you get stability and harmony and happiness within a home and family dynamic. And I really see whatever these obstacles were that kept coming up that seemed insurmountable the first half of the year, it's done and over with. It is finished. And yes, you might have hit the last straw where you're like, dear God, could I take any more of this? Okay. But I do feel like that is reached its finality and you are working now. Okay. Again, if you had trouble transferring to a new location, if that was on hold, you're finally back to work and very much working hard and putting yourself in your work. There might, however, if this is a relationship where somebody's pulled away in indifference, that's being put to an end. Okay, whatever's being put to an end in July, it is to bring stability and happiness and harmony within a home. And somebody's working very hard on getting it and maintaining it. So that's the positive news. And then I see in the following month, you are healing from this energy finally. And it might have to do with this stalemate, you know, that I saw showing up in the first half of this year, where, you know, somebody has some unfinished business, okay? Or they need to get closure over an issue where there was a stalemate. And it might be that somebody's like, you know what? I'm regenerating my life. I'm moving on. If you're not going to help me, if you're not going to support me, if you're going to be a poor leader, then I am going to not wait around on getting closure from you. I'm going to make a decision to regenerate my life and heal again. And yes, I do see some people are helping you. It seems like there is somebody here. I mean, it might be more than one person, but definitely at least one person this year is not being supportive. And I am getting a sense that it is a spouse or a family member. The good news is, like, by September, you get a second chance, okay? And the second chance might be with this person, but I think in all likelihood, given all the cards, the second chance is for yourself, regardless of this person, okay? I see you getting expansion, and like you're moving beyond this individual who I think was giving too little too late, and they were stuck and not making forward movement. You are getting expansion beyond this because you're making a judgment call like, you know what, I'm shifting my life with or without you. And with the King of Earth, could be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, but again, I feel overall it's your energy of making the most of your assets. And maybe because you're dealing with somebody, or you have been dealing with somebody who is refusing to examine themselves, and as a result is keeping themselves stuck in a past pattern, and maybe other people as well. Well, you're breaking free of it, and it might be a Capricorn is relevant, but I see you taking your power back, reclaiming your power, and saying, you know what? If you don't want to see the errors of your ways and let it go, then I'm seeing the errors of your ways and I'm letting you go, and I'm taking my power back. I'm getting my stability and security with or without you. You see what I'm saying? You're getting power. You're powering up this year, Sagittarius. And look at this loveliness in November. You've got a creative new beginning. Oh, it might even be passionate for some of you. And I see that you are getting forward movement. And again, that forward movement might be tied to some decisions you made back in March, to some decisive action about, you know, breaking free of restrictions, getting balance in your life, restoring harmony and security and stability. I see it all over this spread. And finally, new beginning, because you're closing out a cycle. You're closing out lessons, I think, that have been learned, having to do with all this second house activity going on with your self-worth, your resources, your power, your personal power, and you're getting progress from this point on. And then by the end of this year, 2020, December, you have Two of Water. Very lovely soul union. Somebody you have an emotional connection with. Could be a suitor, could be an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Maybe coming in slow and steady. Some of you, on the other hand, it's just family connections, because you've got a lot of fourth house activity going on at the very end of this month. So it might be family relationships. And again, I see you working hard, very hard working, methodical approach, very diligent, really investing yourself in a way where you're investing your time and your resources wisely, expecting a return on investment. Some of you going through a bit of reinvention of your own sense of self for 2021, and setting some new goals for the new year, maybe in partnership with, you know, a soulmate, to really actualize the new obstacles that you're going to overcome for 2021 based on what you've overcome already in 2020. So lovely stuff. And overall, let me tell you, whatever happens, it's like the sun is, whatever, I saw it all throughout the spread, you know, that you recover it, okay? Whatever goes down comes up for you this year. And you can see it with that sun at the foundation. And it's about equality, sharing, giving and taking, okay? Reciprocation. So yeah, somebody is in your midst who's not doing it, all right? And I really feel that they're dead weight, and they've dragged you and perhaps a family unit down, but you are going to overcome this. Yes, it might create some delays and frustrations that are unnecessary. I don't know that you're going to be able to convert this person, but if you can't get the healing with this person, Spirit's bringing the healing without them, and it results in you being independent and self-sufficient and having more than enough to give to yourself and others. And let me see if I can get you 3 cards here for this year for Sagittarius. Oh, there's that tree again. Oh, affairs with your family. See, I told you. I had to clarify. And there it is with that tree. You see, if you want to know more about that, it's on Vimeo. And I talked about that fourth house activity with your family. It's a family issue that's really hitting you this year. The moon changes in your life. Oh yeah, it's coming. Okay, I'm going to tell you, some of you are going to be in that new home. Definitely by, you know, November. Okay, some of you very happy in a new home. November, December, if not sooner. Definitely the second half of the year. Someone will gossip about all your secrets. Oh my gosh. Let's hope not. Let's hope not, okay? I think you're going to, y'all are usually pretty wise about that stuff. Y'all are not talkaholics like the air signs, right? Unless you got air sign placements, then God bless you. But, you know, we could do that. But yeah, just be careful who you're talking to. So, and it might be a family matter, okay? It might be about your family issues or the changes that are going on in your life. But stay encouraged, and yeah, if you want to know more about, you know, the depth and detail with the astrology, and because I have so many more cards here than what I've shown, along with the oracle card advice about the angelic support you're getting this year and the divine doors that are opening up for you, make sure to join me over on Vimeo. The link will be down below. And until next time, I'm wishing you all the best. Be blessed.